guess I was born with the curse of foresight, cause I knew Joe was only gonna represent the war side. And that said, I just came to fight. You could keep the or flight. Save the surprise and the gasp when the shadow the fascists have cast is on your doorstep in the glow of your porch light. Save the surprise when the grid goes down and we go underground to lick wounds in the gloom of a torchlight. While up in the sky, a blimp glides by with a sign like New Year's 2022. Brought to you jointly by Pfizer and Coors Light. While the centrists observe from a comfortable courtside, right in the thick of the action behind a partition. We're in a morbid position, a plague of evictions, born a comorbid condition of the cancer of wealth. I fantasize that I cancel myself, hands on your head, throw your best laid plans in the well. There are no more answers, questions go back on the shelf. All Joe's donors, a quick show of hands. How many of you sub to the Lockheed Martin OnlyFans? How many are loyalist patrons for the Raytheon Patreon? Occupy Iraq and send $1 million off into the great beyond. Cool yourself with the safety on. True to yourself in as much as you dutifully spew out a mucus of QAnon. You can't convince me the Capitol wasn't surrendered with every intention of digging us deeper down into the treacherous webbing of censorship, ebbing your speech and dissension so you can't hold Biden accountable. Not in his mentions and not in the streets. No to the end that Joe will defend the elite. Joe won't embarrass McConnell, but Joe's not embarrassed if all of your children are hungry and weak. Too hungry to speak. Too hungry to stand, they just lie at his feet. Joe is fresh out of empathy, fresh out of policy, but he'd love to know, what was your favorite ice cream flavor to eat? Back when you used to eat. I guess the road isn't rocky for people who thought we were free. They'll believe what they read, and Joe's here to lull them to sleep. Counting us down by the dozens, the culling of gullible sheep, led to the slaughter by media tyrants and government thieves. These are the leeches that stubbornly suck where there's nothing to bleed. These are the tumors that force us to crawl on our knees. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. My lips, brand new taxes, starving all the billionaires and neutering their Visa Maxes. Topple Congress off their axis, mobilize the homeless, give them axes, call it praxis. Chop a couple limbs off the legislative branches. We'll show you the difference between air as a human right and guaranteed oxygen access. Octogenarians who barely know what day it is are culling countless citizens while sitting on a dais made of ignorance that was built on the graves of the slaves made to labor for its self-declared significance. And all to build a Congress full of millionaires who make their fortunes insider trading while they shit on all the indigent. So I got a bone to pick with our leaders, and I'll start with the ligaments. Pick right through the muscle, dig the marrow out, and serve it to the unhoused millions living in their minivans or watching their belongings get evicted from their tenement. I have a dream where we breach the walls of Congress and just let them in. And what happens next will survive in only text, cause there won't be any evidence. There will only be that heavy kind of feeling that pervades a space where there has been a reckoning and you can feel its remnants. Let any man who enters seeking power know that those who came before him suffocated on their eminence. That there once was a seal on the wall, but we quartered it and scattered all the pieces that it might prevent its semblance. And so we end the great experiment. We'll take all your billions, leave you 2 coins for the ferryman. Leave you drifting on a Dutchman floating derelict among the wretched seraphim. For holy is the hand that wiped the land clean of those who pose as gentlemen. That's my time, honey. Cue the thunderclap and strike the theremin. And so we end the great experiment. Give you 2 coins for the ferryman. I think I liked it better being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines, and when I couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. I thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. They both bleed us so dry. My favorite songs don't hit the same way. I get to the end of a 4-minute track and I'm only looking back thinking, what did they actually say? So I try to sit down with my wife and watch TV, but I just see propaganda elevating the police in the simplest of sitcom banter, and tiny little altars full of offerings to corporate masters in every well-planned wide pan shot of the name brand stocking up the pantry. Pull back one long tracking shot out to the garage to the logo on the Camry. Nice tight shot of the Camry. Close-up view of the Camry, slow pan up on the Camry, long slow zoom to the unmoving human who is up in the front with the tube pumping fumes to him straight from the back of the Camry. Ashamed he just could not provide for himself, let alone for his family. It's a blue pill mindset that spent 2020 making dance beats. I think I liked it better being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines, and when I couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride, and thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. They both bleed us so dry. Ignorance is bliss, which explains why a lot of us are so fucking happy. quick to take the trip for all its trappings. Never one to ask what's up, what's going on, or God forbid what's happening. A lot of us would strap into the ride and then spit right in the eye of the guy whose job it is to snap your fastenings. But maybe we're all born with that capacity. Maybe each of us comes standard with humor, compassion, malice, and audacity. Some of us are blind to the system, but some see it fine and say this is how it has to be. Some of us can stare wide-eyed at a nationwide human catastrophe and only offer platitudes and recipes. And I wish that I could tell myself that nothing's worth obsessing past my everyday necessities. I wish that I could cry fake news over anything that threatened me, tune out our abuses and consume a little levity. Wish that I could offer up my son a smoother destiny. Wish I had some better lessons for how best to answer questions for the things I've been perpetually questioning. But I'm too busy looking at our leaders, wondering what I might be missing from their messaging. Trying to find the reasoning to let 250,000 people meet an early reckoning. And even though I know the truth, it's hard to swallow something that's so literally sickening. Hope is ever dwindling, COVID ever beckoning. Winter slows your breathing, but your pulse is ever quickening. Even though I know the truth, it's hard to keep listening. I'm done with my epiphany, my innocence is blistering. I'd like to think I'd taste the earth before I'd ever kiss the ring. Hard to speak the truth and harder still to keep listening.
Sometimes I think I miss being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines, and when I couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. Thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. Both bleed us so dry. Both bleed us so dry. They both bleed us so dry.
Indie left, indie left, news and politics and all the rest. So much to do on the YouTube, so they curate a list for you. Do you want to watch your favorite creator or have a chat on Discord later? Well, you better get hip to Indie Left, Indie Left, IndieNews.Network.
I can't see the screen in Discord.
Okay.
Is black.
Welcome to, oh boy, this is what I meant about that. Okay, welcome
Right.
to How Do We Miss
I
That?
think I
How
know.
are you? It's Sunday night. It is 10
I think I
p.m.
know how to fix it. So if you
Nice.
go to Discord settings,
Okay.
right, go into voice and video, right,
Yes.
and then scroll the way down.
Yes.
You probably have use an experimental method or use our latest
Yes.
technology to capture your screen. Turn that off.
Yes. Okay. That's from audio applications. Oh, here, I see what you mean.
There's one
I got
above
you.
that.
I got it.
Yeah.
Now
And
you
then
can see
like
it?
click your video on and off, I think, or your
Okay.
screen share on and off.
Gotcha. Hi, everybody. Sorry, everybody. We're live. This is we're doing it live. Okay, we'll do it live.
Did that fix
Okay.
it?
I don't know. I'm about
You're
to
working
turn it
on it.
back on, and you'll see. And I don't think it will. I think it's dark. That's okay. You'll be able to see everything else. It's just the Substack and the other, and if not, we can play around.
Okay.
Anyway,
I mean, it's seeing the whole thing, but yeah.
what's up?
Try
No,
just sharing your screen.
No, that was
So-
not Reef singing. That was first Jesse Jett, the wonderful, amazing, brilliant, genius Jesse Jett, and before that, and the theme song is Ron Placone. So thank you to Ron Placone, of course, for doing the theme song. We love you, Ron. All right, how's that? Now you should be able to see that.
Yeah, now I see stuff.
Badass. Okay.
That works.
Nice. Welcome to How Did We Miss That? It is Sunday night. It's 10:04 now. We're a few minutes late, but we're here. We're ready to go. Hey, I look like a bird for some reason. Hey, how about that? I do look like a bird. I always look like
You
a
just
bird.
sound like pasta a little bit. It's always appreciated on the couch.
It's always appreciated here on the couch. Thank you. That's my little tribute to pasta. So, It is Sunday night. Like I said, happy March. Happy, oh my God, the world's about to end.
Yep.
But not really.
Fat Tuesday was last week.
Yes, Fat Tuesday was last
that was
Tuesday.
Fun. Yep. Did you get the little baby Jesus in your king cake? You got to buy the next king cake?
I did not get baby Jesus this year. I got it last year, though, and that was pretty cool. I think that was the first time I've ever actually gotten a piece that had the little baby in there, which was...
Little baby in there?
Woo-hoo!
Takes you a minute to get there, right?
Hi, Laws456. I don't know who that is. That's cool. Hi, welcome, Eric. How are you?
Eric's here.
Debate Me channel. How are you, buddy? We are ready to go. I've got some stories lined up that are not really Ukraine related. I got a couple, but not a lot because there's a lot else happening out there that is not Ukraine. And right now, everybody focused on that. This is How Do We Miss That? So let's talk about the stuff we actually missed. It's been a wild week. We're all exhausted. Why am I hearing echo? Is that your thing? Oh, that was your earphones in your speakers. I got it. Anyway.
Was it?
Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to How Do We Miss That? How Do We Miss That is a show airing on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, Odyssey, Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. Reviewing a few big stories we haven't seen covered much in the independent media space. Co-hosted by me, Indy, founder and editor of independentleft.news and leftist.today.
And Reef's
Substack.
And Reef's empty chair.
And recent, yeah, and I'm talking to an empty chair. But I also am we have the shows How Do We Miss That and Friends of Indie Left. So check those out definitely on our YouTube channel. We have the Friends of Indie Left clips on our Rumble channel. But I also am friends, and my friend Reef, the empty chair, is hanging out here. He probably is mic'd up so he can hear. All the stories that we had were featured in our Substack, leftist.today, and at the top of independentleft.news. Check Reef out at Reef Breland on Twitter. Reefer After Dark is his show, Friday nights at 10 p.m. He had a hilarious show this week. Franco, let me tell you, if you want to see Franco really laugh, go watch Reef Show. Because there were some moments there where he had Franco broken up, and it was beautiful. That was a lot of fun.
Normally Franco is a steel trap of emotion, so
it
was a good time.
He keeps it kind of calm and close, and we love him for it, and it's awesome. But yeah, that was a good time, and so we are your number one source, or Independent Left News, Independent Left GG, and Leftist.today are your number one source for left-leaning political news, videos, podcasts, articles, insight, and opinion. But I'm going to even get ditched to left-leaning. What the hell's left anymore? We're showcasing independent media free from advertiser influence. Left doesn't even mean anything. Want to give a shout out to the patrons and Ko-fi supporters. We got one of them sitting right in chat right now. Eric T. Red, thank you. Richard M. and Richard T. From Facebook. Nikki, Radical Leftist Agenda. Les Bones. Then we have Robin Turing and Noli. Oh my God, she was my co-host last week. She was so great. That was so awesome to have her here filling in for Reef. And the event that
she was on
did,
JB today, right?
She was on live with JB today, and that I caught a good portion of that stream. It was a lot of fun. And we actually got a new Ko-fi this week. Thank you so much to Planet Claire for buying us a cup of coffee and keeping us fueled. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Shout out to our volunteers. Nicole.
For that, please.
Shout out to Nicole. And yeah, we can always use some more coffee money, some more weed money. Thank you. Nicole, Darlene, for doing all the posting on Instagram, Facebook. Big Mad Crab, who should be here in the chat too. Greg, man, he's been killing it on the thumbnails. Thank you so much, and helping out with all the INN stuff that we need, and the outros, and just really stepping up, filling in. Anybody needs the work. Follow at Big Mad Crab on Twitter and reach out for some editing work or for some graphic work. Also, again, How Do We Miss That Clips channel on Rumble, rumble.com/c/how did we miss that. I'm going to drop that link in the chat now. You can go subscribe to that channel. It's really kind of cool because each segment's only about 15 minutes long, and you can kind of get in and out. I have most of them put up there so far from prior weeks, but not this past week. Also, thank you, Alex Davidson, for liking every Substack post. Thank you to everybody who liked last week's Substack over at INN that I wrote, about the propaganda and the misinformation. That was really interesting, and the reaction that we got to it was fantastic, and actually got inspired and fired up this week to write again. We're going to cover that article this week. So, Reef, you were working on the Sabby Sabs stream, and you were pushing the doodly doot buttons, and that was really, really cool. I got to see quite a bit of that before we went live with Noli.
That was fun.
Oof, what panels? I mean, that activist panel, that last panel was such fire.
Oh my God.
Woo!
Fucking both Glory and fucking Josana fucking killed me. I was done. Fucking, I was like literal tears. I was like, oh my God, they grow up so fast. Look at the fires. I loves it. Like when you're telling activists who used to have that, who don't have it anymore, and they're like, no, we need that, and you see their gears turning, you're like, yep, this is where people are at.
Yep. Pretty
We're
much.
fucking put up, they're done with it. But yeah, no, my show with Franco is pretty fucking good. Go check out my channel for that. Was that YouTube/Brief Breland or Reefer After Dark, or
I don't
it's probably
know.
one of those dumb
You don't have the
character
vanity. Yeah, he doesn't have the
things,
vanity name yet, but it's in the description, I believe. If you just click on his name, or you go to his
I think my link tree should have it in there.
Should be in there somewhere. If not, it's on his Twitter.
Yeah.
Also, and you can hook him up.
That was great. We had Colin and Warren there. It was such a good time.
That's always a good time. Yeah. And I was sitting there in chat and some other people out there. And that was a blast. All right. Well, let's do the thing, and let me show the Indie main. Hey, this is a new look and feel for March. It is very Irish and very, very St. Paddy's Day look, of course.
Nice.
Thank you again to Big Mad Crab for hooking up the thumbnails. Wow, look at that.
Nice.
Thank you again to Big Mad.
That's me.
Okay, that's you. Thank you.
I did that.
So the Substack is leftist.today, also at independentleft.media.substack.com. This is the current episode, current issue. And you've got all the links where you can watch this live here. Again, where you can find everybody. There's the Reefer After Dark link right here on the Substack, leftist.today, website independentleft.news, links to all the different places, the link tree where you can find all the different links, but they're also right here. Right. And if you scroll down, you'll also be able to find all of the other. We changed around the homepage, so now there's different. It's a slightly different layout. You can see more articles. You can see a history. You can see what the most popular and most liked articles are. We've also added podcast to the Substack, so now you'll be able to see the Friends of Indie Left podcast and download and listen to that right here. Just the other day, we posted the Bank Sisters one from when we went live with them. That was a great thing. And then also you have you can watch it or you can listen to it live, either one. And this is again in a separate section of the Substack that I created for the podcast. Pretty badass.
Are we ready to show that other thing that we have in the dark corners of the web?
No, not yet.
We're
getting there.
That'll be keep an eye out for that. That's going to be good, peeps.
Yep. There'll be a couple other things happening. We got a lot of irons in the fire. And shout out to uncensorednews.us. He's badass, Chris. Doing a lot of work to also on the back end build some web stuff, but he's got a really good aggregator site focuses mostly on green, but really like the way that he operates. This is the current independentleft.news. Again, we've updated our color scheme. You're welcome, Warren. We're now using the Opera browser, and I have to give a shout out to Reef for discovering in the Opera browser there actually is a way to force dark mode on any website. So this website does not offer dark mode, but thankfully the browser.
It looks so good, don't it?
Oh my God, it's
dark mode.
Wonderful.
If you're a website that doesn't have dark mode or an app that just what are you doing? Just dark mode it up.
So you see the top headline here. These two articles we're actually going to go through tonight. This one was also a really big one. I want to give a shout out to this one because even though Caitlin Johnstone shared it, and it came from the Libertarian Institute, which is not a publication that I frequently would look at all. But Scott Horton has been doing some amazing work lately, and I will not dismiss anything that he's been up to because he's one of the best with antiwar.com. But what this identified was that back in 2008, they had a cable from William Burns talking about Ukraine and warning about how NATO expansion would cause a Russia-Ukraine war. And this is remarkable stuff. Blow that
zoom
up.
in just a tad. Yeah, a little bit more. Oh, yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Even be a little bigger, maybe. But, yeah, that's mucho better.
There you go.
As my mother would say.
So, yeah.
Classified by Ambassador William Burns. Yep. So go back up a little bit. What's the headline?
Yeah, what it says is that WikiLeaks
documents for U.S. knew, would cause Russian. Yeah, that makes complete sense. Of course they knew.
So again, that's just in tonight's, in today's edition. But again, that wasn't even a story I was going to cover, but I did want to give a shout out to it. Watch it. It's a 12-minute video. It's really informative.
And
again, this guy is now, head of the CIA, William Burns? I'm almost sure.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. He was ambassador then. Pretty scary stuff. So, again, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of articles. I sound like Trump now. Dozens and billions and millions of articles. Or maybe Bernie even. Billionaires and millionaires hate this website.
Billionaires and millionaires.
Discord plugin. Right now we got 85 members live. There's a link to give us some Ko-fi or become a patron on Patreon. We do have one. Don't really broadcast it much, but we do have one out there if you want to hook us up. And we do shout out our patrons at the beginning of every show and appreciate their support. All right, we got only about 8 stories to get to tonight. I made it kind of shorter, and here we go. First story, crazy one.
Here we go. A German increases its military budget. Weapons company stocks rise by 85%.
Yes. Oh boy. So follow the money. Who was pushing this? Defense contractors. And what happened? Their stocks went ballistic, literally.
Well, this is
pardon the pun.
Part of the thing about joining NATO, right?
Part of the thing about, well, not just joining NATO, but because of the fact that you had this pipeline that was about to go live, and they needed to protect that pipeline. On top of that, now you've got Russia was quote unquote arming and build up on the Ukrainian border before this offensive had started a couple of weeks ago. But even in advance of that, they were working on trying to sell weaponry to Germany. That didn't just happen overnight. However, in advance of knowing that their new prime minister, and that's what they're going to talk about here, I believe his name is Axel Scholz, but the war is proving to be a lucrative business for, of course, the world's largest defense contractors. What a surprise, right? Growing militarization of, and this is, by the way, Left Voice, and it was ripped from La Izquierda Diario Argentina. I'll use my little Spanish teacher voice there.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Katie Halper would be impressed, I'll tell you right now. She does the little Spanish flair very well. Gotta give her credit for that. So
grassy ass. Right? They knowed her.
Yeah, that's Reef and his southern roots. So again, they created a special fund, and I thought that this was kind of like in them joining NATO and everything else that they could not arm and militarize, but they've already increased the country's budget by $112 billion. That's a lot of money.
Ridiculous.
Okay? All right. And forces one of the most important imperialist powers in Europe. They become one of the most important imperialist powers in Europe and the world. So they're putting the band back together, it looks like. This Monday, shares of German weapons manufacturers rose upwards of 85%. Rheinmetall alone increased by 40%. Well, of course, they're going to get a lot of that domestic business, so that $112 billion is going to go H&K, who makes the MP5, H&K, right? Kraus Maffei Wegmann, Deal. All these companies are going to benefit.
Yeah.
Okay, however, it's U.S. defense companies, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, escalating is good for business. And is it?
So even
don't they both advertise on MSNBC? I believe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Frequently.
Yeah.
I saw Remington gave a bunch of rounds to Ukraine too recently, which I just thought was funny.
So of course, this is one of the offshoots, or what would you kind of call it? The in the backdrop of Ukraine, what's happening? Why is this happening? Yeah. What are the fallouts, and what are the casualties of this war that you don't necessarily see, and they're not actual, deaths, but they are alterations. Yeah. They're careers ending. They're armaments of countries that had previously been disarmed. Again, to the point where they're now going to make it a substantial portion of their GDP again. And it's been more than 80 years, it's been about 80 years since 1946. I believe that's what most people are probably looking back to. And Germans are saying, how long is long enough? We've rebuilt ourselves to become an economic power in Europe. And if we're a sovereign nation, we certainly, deserve the right to defend ourselves and to have a military accordingly. The problem is that a military that big is a problem, because they're spending that kind of money on a military, but also because, that's the history of their military, let's just say. Right. And then aligned with the people right next door that
Did you see the meme that went around that, like, wait, let me get this straight. You want Germany to build up its military to go through Poland and invade Russia? I just want to reiterate.
Just listen to what you're saying. That's what
you're wanting to do.
Just listen to it.
That's what you want?
I hope it's not during the winter time.
Yeah, that's gonna be. You're gonna have to pass through a particular Stalin-named city. That's
might be problematic. Might be slightly.
I don't know if you've seen Enemy at the Gate, but
Jude Law, right? That was a good movie.
Jude Law.
This is how they harden you and prepare you for everything, is they make a movie out of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
so that's as well as Stalingrad, the movie.
That's what's going on with Germany and their defense stuff. Now, on top of that, this one really hurt, and this one really affected all of us personally this week.
It was bad.
To the point where I even got so fired up that I needed to write about it, and I published it. I co-published this. Go ahead. How
did we miss that? It's because you weren't meant to see it. That's why.
Yeah, we're gonna miss that forever now, and how
hopefully not forever ever.
Well,
but
Lee basically even said tonight that it's not going to come back in its form because the production company that ran it is no longer going to support it or whatever. And unless we can find someone with a whole pile of money to rebuild that real quickly, I don't know how it's going to happen. But I'm going to do a little read on this one, because I figure then we can clip that up and we can do a segment, or I can release that as an audio, and you can a reading from the author himself, which is pretty interesting. So we can talk about
who's that guy. Sorry? Who's that guy that jumped out the plane with the money that we never found?
That's
contact that guy.
Oh gosh, what's his name?
Yeah, now it's gonna piss me off. Chat,
Oh my
chat, if you can
God.
get to it.
Oh my God, what was that man's name? I cannot remember. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this real quick. Gosh, DB Sweeney.
Yeah, yes, sure, or Cooper.
DB Cooper.
DB Cooper.
DB Sweeney is an actor.
A
little different.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Isn't that DB Cooper? Go ahead.
R.I.P. to Redacted Tonight and RT America, and we are all poorer for it. When voices that challenge,
yes, we are.
When voices that challenge corporate corruption, expose hypocrisy, inconvenient to the powerful, are silenced, only benefits the powerful who have one less outlet to worry about now. I've been watching Redacted Tonight for years, since I got a smart TV and noticed it on my Pluto app. Since before I started aggregating and publishing news. I also used to subscribe to DirecTV, and I remember watching Redacted Tonight on RT America, I think it was channel 321, and thinking it was way funnier than any comedic news show on commercial TV, like The Daily Show. Yep. This week, Redacted Tonight was just one casualty of the information war happening concurrent to the Ukraine crisis that's been happening since 2014. On March 2nd, RT America announced that it was shuttering operations, putting hundreds of American voices who routinely challenge narratives out of work immediately. Specifically, the crew at Redacted, plus comedians Natalie McGill, Naomi Caravani, Anders Lee, and Jafar Khan, plus scores of others are affected by this directly and indirectly. And here's the tweet that I put up, and this was actually from the 4th about the production company that's closed that is no longer going to support RT and permanent separation from most of the employees. Shows like On Contact with Chris Hedges, The News with Rick Sanchez, The World According to Jesse Ventura, and many others were the only semblance even close to a 24-hour TV network where Americans who have legitimate issues with things happening in our country had a platform to express those gripes. For some reason, Spotify also preemptively, voluntarily decided to remove the podcast Moment of Clarity by Lee Camp and the RT podcast, The Politics of Survival with Tara Reid. Again,
Morty.
I include
Right, it's Rick Sanchez.
Tweets about
Dr. Rick Sanchez is in there.
Tweets from Lee Camp and Tara about their appreciation and talking about losing their shows and losing their podcasts. And it was terrible.
She's been pulling her hair out too. It's rough.
And Tara's, of course, in the INN family, so we've been doing all we can to rally around her and support her, and we love her. And we got her YouTube channel with some stuff up. She's gonna be putting up. RT did give her essentially all her old like videos and stuff like that, and podcasts and stuff. So we should be able to get those up on her YouTube. So if people want to go subscribe to that, I definitely suggest that. We'll put it in the description after the show goes live. Yep. But you won't find them or voices like theirs on mega corporate owned TV, the 20 companies that control almost all content people see and hear, because they say things that make corporate network execs and the companies they advertise for, defense contractors, pharmaceutical companies, fossil fuel, and big box retail, uncomfortable by exposing their corrupt practices, which they try to whitewash with flowery ads. And I've been talking about this for a while, even before this thing got cut. But they've been blackballed by Dems, won't sell out to Republicans. You've got anti-corporate, anti-capitalist voices all over, and they can't get a sniff on TV anymore. That was our only shot. So our my mission at Independent Left Media is and has been to amplify voices that call out corruption and corporate hypocrisy, and Redacted was a crown jewel in that mix early on. As we ramped up and found more voices to include, no doubt partially inspired by the team at Redacted. And for almost a year, one of the YouTube channels that we put on auto-tweet was Redacted Tonight. We tweeted every published segment and episode by the channel as soon as it was available on YouTube. For receipts, you can search Twitter for the phrase @IndLeftNews and Redacted. Even before this even launched as a website, we had shared a Moment of Clarity video. And that's when I was actually set up as at Prague News Weekly. That's how far back this account goes. And that was before I even started to launch a website. This was actually the first auto tweet from Independent Left News, and it was back in October of 2020. After we changed our name back in September of 20, Lee and Eleanor's Sunday night live stream raising money for the Assange defense was one of the first super chat donations we made as Independent Left News. It was $20 super chat. And then I tweeted about it and thanked them for it. Again, I such heart for these guys, and for what, you know, Lee has been a super inspiration. I've watched this guy work and admired how hard he works. And you know, here's an article he wrote. This was in mid-January, and it had like no likes and shares, and I couldn't understand how and why. And I said, if the lack of likes and shares on this post aren't clear evidence of suppression, I don't know what evidence you need. This is Robert Scheer, who was like the editor of the New York Times, right? And Lee Camp is one of the biggest voices there are on the left. So how can nobody see and engage with this tweet? One like. It was Lee Camp.
Yeah, one like.
It was Lee Camp. Okay. This automation also included supporting Lee Camp's other shows and channels, Moment of Clarity and Government Secrets, plus Eleanor's Common Censored podcast in our auto tweet rotation. All right. We included his podcast at leecamp.com, his post at leecamp.com, and at Scheer post when he wrote stuff. In addition to performing stand-up comedy, he really is one of the hardest working people in this business, though few people notice or acknowledge it. They just say, he yells at me on screen. Well, yeah, he does, but he's funny. And we support independent media and amplify voices like these. All right. Here's one. Again, this was that piece just even a couple of weeks ago. No, this was all the way back in December 2020. Pandemic Dirty Dozen, talking about the companies that were getting rich off of pandemic. And then we at Independent Left Media stand in solidarity, as well as all the channels in IndieNews.Network family, content creators, stand in solidarity with all those who lost their jobs. We'll continue to amplify their voices as they reemerge, likely on the independent scene. We've seen the independent content creator space already step up to voice their outrage and concerns too, and here's just a small sample. And we've got an article written by Caitlin about that, and of course Misty,
absolutely,
and Fee,
with Rachel Blevins there.
Even Pat the Burner got in on this. Okay, and I just wanted to mention that Lee started a Patreon to continue his work, and we subscribe to that and support that. Tara has a Substack where you can support her with a one-time or monthly subscription, so please go and do that if you can. Even if you can just subscribe and share. Mm-hmm.
I almost got Autopilot to put in writing that he'll support the free speech of plenty of those people above in those threads, but didn't quite get that out of him.
Yeah, please support them and don't allow these voices to be silenced. Is my last request here in writing this. But I just thought it was important to put it out there myself. That how much I appreciate what they've done as a team, and I've reached out to each one of these people actually, and they all kind of either followed me or responded. It was really nice, and just
the bots were out in force that day too. It was bad. On
it's pretty
Twitter.
Brutal.
Oh,
it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, bring back RT America would be nice. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Well, again, my other question was, how come we don't have anybody who in America who is willing to step up and potentially fund or support this? I think there are some pretty wealthy people on the left, and maybe if we kind of put our heads together, pooled resources, maybe we can accomplish something. I don't know. Susan Sarandon and Roger Waters specifically, I did mention, but I'm sure there are others out there who have plenty of money. DB Sweeney.
Yeah.
So that was my little heartfelt piece, and my little ode to RT America and to Redacted. So thank you for the memories and the laughs, and we will miss you guys as a show. And again, their segments were funny. They were educational. Sometimes they were a little bit, again, because it took a little bit longer for them to produce it, but they were so well produced. They brought in people that wouldn't necessarily sit and watch a more raw live stream of people in their living room. Right?
Yeah.
So next story I've got, and let's go back thumbnail, next story here, and turn that off. Cool. And we've got censorship is inherently evil. Thank you, Eric. So, again, I'm not a big reader of Covert Action magazine per se. But this one was shared in the Indie Left News by one of the lefty content creators that I don't even remember who it was. But Jeremy Kuzmarov did write a really interesting article about how if the NED is subverting democracy, why aren't some of the left media calling it out? And we, of course, have been. The Gray Zone has been. Stephen Kinzer, of course, has been. But there are others who certainly have not been. And here you go. The media groups
Stephen Kinzer, for those who don't know.
Stephen Kinzer. He's a journalist that is writing, in this case, for... They're going to talk about that. Who is Stephen Kinzer? I believe he was a former somebody very sharp. Who's Stephen Kinzer?
No, give me back my lighter.
By the way, this article is like super duper long, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing. You guys going to have to go through this yourself.
Yeah.
All right. Media group. So again, Matt Kennard, Mark Curtis, writing for Declassified, disclosed the NED, which is a nonprofit funded by Congress, has plowed more than £2.6 million into 7 independent British media groups over the last 5 years. And I don't think that that the one at the very end is going to be a surprise to anybody. Bellingcat. We've been talking about Bellingcat for quite a while. But all of these, Open Democracy is another one that's pretty well known for promoting the disinformation, lending support for regime change operations in countries such as Russia and Syria. For example, I know that they were in support of the White Helmets.
Right.
In Syria. So, again, through the work of the Jimmy Carter Center to secure fair and transparent elections, the NED has been involved since its founding in 1983 in trying to undermine or remove governments independent of Washington, including democratic ones in Bolivia, Ecuador, and Venezuela.
Yeah.
Doesn't really take much to really see that happening. And again, this is going to have receipts. Yep. It's going to take you through CIA whistleblower.
I don't remember that name.
Well, I
remember that name way too well, but yeah.
Yeah, I think he went on 60 Minutes. Okay, having the CIA go around behind the scenes trying to manipulate the process. Now they just are the media. Now they just support the media. Right, so Alan Weinstein confirms this research, and then we've got that guy, John something from back in the 70s, how like they were just feeding stories to the media all the time, and 30% of it
this is during that
was false.
What was that Ben Affleck movie?
Oh, that's Argo. Again,
but that's around the same.
This was from 2010. Said that the NED was established by Congress in effect to take over the covert propaganda efforts. All right.
Yeah.
Article provides an overview of NED's history. All right. A discussion of its reach. Noam Chomsky wrote about what the true agenda of the NED was. Again, it's pulling in quotes from
what is called democracy, meaning rule by the rich and powerful without interference by the mob, but within the framework of formal electoral procedure.
Yep.
Okay.
So, the NED has been known, again, Missionaries for Democracy, again, super duper long. Look at how long this thing goes. It just goes and goes and goes. It's like a book in itself. Okay?
Right.
So,
Jesus. You went plaid.
Jeremy Kuzmarov.
Straight to plaid.
My goodness, he's the managing editor, so he's the guy. He had something to say here. And again, I encourage everybody to look at this and to go through it. I have not gone through all of it yet, and I certainly intend to. And there is now an app, I believe, that will read this out to you. I've been seeing it show up in my timeline quite a bit.
Who reads it? Like
you just have it scroll. Like
Samuel
you just
Jackson,
give it the website. No, I think it's more like an androgynous voice, but maybe
gotcha.
I'm not going to do a Sam Jackson.
Microsoft Sam.
I'm not even going to bother trying to do a Microsoft do a. But this is
you remember Microsoft Sam?
So who isn't calling it out? Well, we know who isn't calling out Bellingcat. It's the ones who actually rely on Bellingcat, at least in the left media space, right? It is
Right.
the David Doles. It is the TYTs. It is the Mike
Mm-hmm.
Figueredos. It is,
Yeah.
as our friend Carl likes to say, the Brian Taylor
Slibs.
Green. I don't even know that guy until he started talking about Brian Taylor Green. Oh, look at this. We go all the way back to Ollie North and Grenada, 1980s, NED.
Ronald Reagan.
They are destabilizing governments in order to put our quote-unquote democracy in place that will be friendly and sell us resources. Wow, look at Barney Frank with the big fro. That's old. All right.
Yep.
In the 1980s, he tried to halt funding, saying that we're not going to try to say we're not going to fund public transportation or research on cancer because we've got to give money to a French union for political purposes. Just doesn't seem reasonable. Well, yeah, we've been doing this since the 80s, buying off foreign press sources to plant stories that are friendly to us. Sometimes they're accurate, sometimes they're complete fabrications. Again, there's tons of receipts and tons of data in here. It's a treasure trove, really. National Endowment for Attacking Democracy, which is actually, and again, regional breakdown of all their major activities. So comprehensive. Yeah. Great work, really. Can't even imagine how long it took to assemble all this data. I mean, years. This is years worth. And not only to assemble, but he had to have the knowledge in the first place to know all of this. Look at that from Reporters Without Borders. All kinds of wild stuff. Eurasia, what's happening in Eurasia. And there you get Boris all the way back to 1992. Right.
He tried to copy Bill's hairstyle, but it did not work out.
And our friend, not our friend, but
Alexei Navalny.
Yes, who also is a friend of.
God, he looks like the bad guy in a Russian movie.
Yeah, but
he looks like he's going to kill Bond.
He's our guy. We act like he's the bad guy, except he's our guy. And again, this is only about halfway down the article. It's insane how long this thing is, and so good. Again, color revolution. Hey, we know we have somebody in the chat talking about a color revolution.
Yeah.
How about that? So now we're talking. Somebody wants a carnation revolution. Well, we just had a failed color revolution in one of the Baltic states, if I remember correctly, or at least they've been talking about it. I believe it was Kazakhstan. There was a failed color revolution at the moment.
It's nice.
My sister, okay, but 2004 color revolution replaced Yanukovych with Viktor Yushchenko, who favored admitting Ukraine to NATO and adopted IMF structural adjustment program that benefited U.S. investors while cutting social programs. Okay. And what did that do? Further antagonized Russia because it further pushed the borders closer. And that's that's led to where we are today. And that's one of the things that we covered last week with the site shared by Esha. And thank you to Esha for sharing this stream tonight. Okay, again, what the NED is doing down in South America, I don't think there's much of a secret about what they tried to do with the hit squad in Venezuela, what they did in training the squad that actually was effective in Haiti and assassinating the leader there. Again, they go through all this.
Sandinistas? When do we get to them? We're almost there.
Right.
Evo Morales.
Evo.
Which I heard we were going back
he was ousted by Áñez, right? And now who has since been arrested on charges of genocide for having ordered the massacre of pro-Morales demonstrators. Nice.
Jesus.
She was some piece of work. I remember when she came in. Ooh, that was and in preparation for that, they poured almost $1 million into Bolivia in 2018. I'm sure some of that made it into Áñez, except that Áñez was famously wealthy in that country. They were one of the elite and one of the wealthy, and that's exactly what the NED does, is look to make sure that the wealthy stays in control. Okay. Going back to Daniel Ortega. That's Ortega, Nicaragua, right? And that was the whole thing with Sandinistas and Noriega.
And we were getting there.
Right.
Back when the BRICS came on military planes.
Yep.
Thank you, Oliver North.
Yes, and he, by the way, he's mentioned earlier in this article too. Telling you, totally comprehensive, so good. All right, everybody, check this out. Yeah, here's the article. Covert Action Magazine again. I mean, not exactly one that I read regularly, but certainly a good data point to take into account. You know, it's what I would call the spook magazine, the spy magazine.
Nice. Do we get like a cool periscope out of cardboard?
By spies for spies, effectively, right?
No.
So, thank you to these guys for the knowledge and for the in-depth background, at least from one take. Cool.
Yeah,
hey,
we're carrying
we're
signs
carrying
on the
signs
chat.
now. Welcome.
Susie's here.
Susie, what's up, dude? Carnation Revolution. Absolutely. We do not have democracy. We have demon crazy and the abducted demons mocking us. That is
Oregon,
unfortunately a pretty provable thesis. So thanks for coming and hanging out tonight.
You should be all right, supposedly. You're like the only spot.
Oregon? Oh, good. Well, that's who we're going to have to.
And they grow a lot of sunflowers out here for that radiation.
So that was all in the backdrop of Ukraine. Now we're going to start talking about some stories that are not focused on Ukraine and war at all. And unfortunately, it's not the best news. It's the IPCC report on how climate change is happening faster and more severe than expected. We're all going to die.
This is fine.
This is fine. Now, this was picked up through Left Voice, who picked up Socialist Resurgence, which is, I would, again, encourage people to sign up for their newsletter. Thank you to Daniel and Socialist Resurgence, always looking for new publications. I don't fully endorse them, but I certainly endorse giving them a look and taking their data into account with whatever grain of salt you need to until you've deemed them to be truthful and worthy of trust in them as a source. But so the report of IPCC's Working Group 2 on Impacts and Adaptation Culture, and here are the findings. Right, the report is released that the poor, indigenous, women and children and the elderly are increasingly at risk. Wow, that sounds familiar to what happened the last couple of years, right? Yep. Especially in countries of the global south. I think that we've been talking about that, focused on that quite a bit, right? Policies followed to limit the damage are inadequate, run counter to sustainability, and deepen social inequalities. And the authors call for an inclusive approach to transform society at all levels.
Yeah.
Going to be a challenge. Again, this is a decently long article, but I, again, think that this is really important to go through, that ecosystems are altered by climate change everywhere, and for some of them, the limits of adaptation are exceeded, and some extreme events exceed, God, that's really difficult. The average is projected for the end of the century, species are already disappearing due to global warming, which we know, right? But here, water issues, and we're going to talk about water in the next article as well, are particularly worrying.
Water.
Right. And again, go back to An Inconvenient Truth. And I believe that's 2004. Would you believe? It's almost been 20 years since that movie. Maybe it's even been 20 years already. They just had an anniversary. I know they just released a sequel to it. But half the world's population experiences severe water scarcity at least 1 month a year. 1 month a year. 500 million people are living in areas where the average precipitation is now at the level of rainfall that previously only occurred every 6 years. So more extremes on both ends, droughts and floods and weather events.
Yep.
That was exactly what was predicted by the scientists. Melting mountain glaciers are causing flooding or shortages downstream. Waterborne diseases affect millions more in Africa, Asia, Central America. By the way, a good remedy for that is something that begins with an I and ends in a mectin. But I'm not going to say what that is. Because I know our friend Carl at Debate Me channel just got suspended for a week because he said something about that our overlords at YouTube did not like. So we're not going to do that.
Nice.
Okay, so in countries highly vulnerable to global warming, where over 3 billion people live, mortality due to floods, droughts, storms, 15 times higher than elsewhere on Earth. Ouch. Several phenomena like the global warming, heat, cold, dust, ozone, fine particles, allergens, promote chronic diseases, the respiratory tract, right? And that doesn't even...
Tropospheric ozone, specifically, right. But yeah.
Tropospheric ozone. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Mr. Science.
Yep. You're welcome.
I'm not hearing any sound effects. Like, what the F?
Those are coming.
Good.
I've been waiting.
We need them for this one.
Yeah.
So climate change, of course, is a major driver of migration and displacement. So where our unwillingness or lack of ability to do anything about that is also causing refugees worldwide. And again, 20 million people have been forced to move every year due to extreme weather events, according to this, since 2008. Okay.
Yeah.
Projections are even more worrying than the findings. Can be summed up in a few words: escalation of threats. And again, we were always talking about 2 degrees Celsius. Nice. It's the aliens. The aliens. Actually, the aliens may be able to save us with their technology.
Aliens. Hopefully.
At 4 degrees Celsius of global warming, the frequency of fires will increase, for example, by 50 to 70%. Changes in ocean water stratification will reduce nutrient fluxes. It's bad. Yeah, 9% extinction is more than 1,000 times the natural rate of species extinction, and that's what happens at 3 degrees Celsius increase, and we're like already pegged to go like more than 4, I believe. So, yeah, and again, this was again predicted by our friend Al Gore. The water issue will become acute in terms of sustainability. Under the median scenarios, by 2100, high mountain glaciers will disappear by 50% in Asia. Again, and at 2.5%, 55 to 68% of commercially exploited freshwater fish species in Africa will be at risk of extinction. I mean, like,
what?
This is
the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree, Jimmy. But the consequences for health are in line with and sharpened by the degradation and destruction of health systems. Okay, in a medium scenario, this number would increase by 250,000 a year in 2050. That's the annual number of climate deaths. Jeez. And we were talking about COVID, and Medicare for All kills 64,000 people a year. This is 250,000 people worldwide due to climate.
This is hurricanes, storms. Species die off, like
everything. Dehydration.
It's everything. Yeah, it's the world's dying. It's the world's on fire.
Again.
Yeah.
A somewhat long article. Get scientific. Okay. Again, the IPCC report obviously does not provide a social strategy for dealing with capitalist climate catastrophe, but the general tone is one of good intentions and pious wishes for the inclusion of all social actors. So it's like, they're alerting us to a problem. Like, guys, you better do something about this. Like, we don't know exactly what, but this is really bad, and we should probably be doing something. And again, we're not really sharp enough or astute enough and have the money to implement to know what exactly that is, but social movement activists will find 2 things useful in their right: a scientific confirmation of the extreme gravity of the impacts of global warming, and a rigorous demonstration of the systemic injustice of climate policies. Well, thanks for another one.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
Oof.
Pretty much.
It's brutal.
It's bad.
This guy wrote a heck of an article. Want to give them a shout out, and we'll try to reach out and see if there's any more color or information they can provide beyond what they gave in the article. So good stuff. Again, this will be in the show notes. You'll be able to get a link to it later on. So we've got another climate story here, and it's from Aaron Brockovich, and we were talking about water. All right.
Yeah. What were you talking? What were we talking about?
Aaron Brockovich and water.
What? There you go. Yeah,
Water.
yeah. I welcome the New
Water.
Jersey
We're gonna do the water.
accent on the. Yeah.
We're gonna have some water. This is the way I always heard it. The way I always knew it to be was water. And then I was told, well, that sounds really New York, New Jersey, and everybody else says water.
WURDER. Water.
That just sounds weird coming out of my mouth still after all these years. So a 50-year debate defining what exactly are U.S. waters. Which waterways qualify for federal oversight? Would you believe that we are still waiting to find out? So this is fascinating stuff. The Supreme Court has agreed to hear arguments this fall in the case of Sackett v. Environmental Protection Agency, which once again tries to define waters of the United States under the Clean Water Act. Oh, man, they're going to make me say water like 800 times now. I love it.
Yeah.
In order to understand the significance, you first have to understand the CWA. Maybe one of these days I'll actually get a chance to interview Aaron Brockovich. That would be absolutely fascinating for the podcast.
Sure.
Okay, so a little bit of a history of the CWA. In 1972, they were passed to protect large bodies of water, such as streams and rivers and bays, from being destroyed by things like sewage and dumping effectively.
Yeah.
And chemicals. And then the Clean Water Act prohibited the discharge of any pollutant by any person without a permit into navigable waters. Well, what exactly does that mean?
Groundwater not being included so that fracking is okay. Is that what I'm... Well, is that what's coming?
That's part of it, yep. It gave the EPA the authority to set water quality standards. All right, again, both the U.S. EPA and the Army Corps of Engineers are responsible for enforcing the Act's provisions. So it's not just the EPA. What is navigable waters, which Congress simply defined as waters of the United States? All waters are navigable.
Well, it's also, it's the inland river system specifically, and Tim Tom Bigby and the Mississippi, and yep. This is my pop's expertise here. He deals with the ACOE often, and the Coast Guard.
There you go.
But yeah.
So originally, it was a strong law to help regulate water pollution. It gave them the authority to set water quality standards and implement pollution control programs. Funded the construction of more sewage treatment plants, and even recognized the need to address non-point source pollution from ag sources like fertilizers and pesticides, along with urban runoff. This is all really important stuff. I mean, look, we need clean water to drink. It's one of the essential things that there are, and I think that we have taken that for granted kind of our whole lives, unless you live in Flint, of course.
Well, it's also who enforces a lot of this stuff. It's the people on the water, pretty much, who see it, right? They have to see it, report it, and if the company hates if you do that, right? There's your company, because you're usually going to be working, because who's in those waterways? You're not going to get pleasure craft up into those areas where they're doing this kind of stuff, So, but yeah.
So like she says, good laws can be written, but they can be hard to follow, right? But here, look at this. Between 2004 and 2009, just a 5-year span, the act was violated more than 500,000 times, and most of the big polluters evaded any kind of punishment. So, isn't the law meant to protect us? How can these violations continue? Sadly, the courts left us hanging for many years. And once in a while, they'll issue a big judgment, and everyone will kind of get their back up. But in the end, they run away with the profits, and year after year after year after year. Shareholders have no liability. The people in these companies move on to other organizations. They're never held criminally liable for any of it. All right. Barack Obama, with help from EPA, finalized the Clean Water Rule to help clear up the confusion, and it clarified that smaller, more isolated waters like streams and lands could fall under federal authority, right? So, and then the rule never really went into effect because of a lawsuit, and then Trump vowed to promote clean water, but then he put Scott Pruitt in charge of the EPA, an oil man, and then they narrowed the scope of the Clean Water Rule, and all their donors bought them off, and they were focused on tax cuts, and they didn't really care about other than paying lip service to clean water. And you've got the Small Business Administration was, they had that was Linda McMahon, but they had billionaires and oligarchs all over the place. You had Wilbur Ross, and there was no way anything was going to get done environmentally in the Trump administration. And his rule was that you had to eliminate a regulation for every one that you created, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah. So again, he signed executive orders instructing them to review and rewrite the Clean Water Rule, reassess whether it's consistent with promoting economic growth, and it wasn't enough to reverse the law. But on October 22nd, 2019, they published a final rule repealing the 2015 Clean Water Rule and restoring the prior regulatory text. So this unsubstantiated action is illegal and will certainly be challenged in court, which is what they said. But again, it's been, 3 years since then, and since the 2015 Act, 7 years.
Yeah.
And then again, this is what's at stake. Please go and read this article and support Erin Brockovich. Give her a like. Subscribe for free. You don't have to pay for her Substack. You can support it with a monthly or annual donation. But I did want to go through this and let everyone know that there is a lawsuit that's going to be coming about fracking again, and about clean water, and it's Sackett versus EPA, defining exactly what the waters of the United States are, and that's important as far as what's being regulated and what's, and who's being held accountable for pollutants. So, great stuff. Again, Erin Brockovich. You ever see the movie? They're called boobs, Ed, as the article down here very famously says. They're called boobs, Ed, because Julia Roberts played her in the movie.
Yep.
So, that is environmental. We got a couple more articles. Next one is... Oof. Steve Donziger inspired this one, I think. But they figured out that they don't really need to jail migrants. So they'll just put an ankle bracelet on them and make them stay in these trailer homes. So this came out of Truth Out. John Deffel, and I believe he's one of the editors, he's a blue check publisher. Okay. That Biden admin is launching a new program of digital incarceration, otherwise known as electronic monitoring, for migrants caught crossing the border. Incarceration. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's officially called home curfew. Includes over 150,000 people. Could expand up to 400. And of course, who's going to make money off it? The BI Incorporated subsidiary of private prison giant Geo Group. Gross. For-profit.
And I think that's connected back to BlackRock too, so even funner there. Yeah. Like everything's owned by BlackRock, so
yeah. Right. So Rashida, another strongly worded letter delivered from 24 members of Congress, including Rashida, to DHS opposing the programs, okay, including the new home curfew requirements. They also criticized the program's massive budgetary increases from $28 million in 2006 to $475 million in 2021. That's a bit much. Yep. So again, seeking to retool some aspects of border enforcement rather than adopt an approach that radically breaks with that of Trump and his predecessors. Blue Trump. Yep. You voted for Blue Trump. Yep. You voted for Blue Trump if you voted for Biden in so many ways. And actually worse, because Trump wasn't looking to escalate war with Ukraine or specifically with Russia over Ukraine. Of course, he was much more subservient, we know, to our anger and disgust in so many ways, but certainly not to the point of what's happening now. I think that diplomacy certainly could have won out, but so far nobody seems to want to have diplomacy, and the defense contractors certainly don't want to encourage diplomacy, and that's why you don't see cooler heads prevailing right now, unfortunately. So
why is my puppo just like staring into a corner?
You see,
White.
is that that's not a window?
No, she's just like got her cornered nose between the couch and like the. What are you doing, Puppo?
Popo, what are you?
Puppo, what are you doing?
Okay,
What are
so
you doing?
182,000 immigrants are confined in some form of alternative to detention. Oh God, that number's up from 83,000 in September of 2019. So a lot of this has
No,
happened.
they're not cages
Well, no, because they're allowed to roam around outside, but they have ankle bracelets.
outside.
And what
Yeah.
happens if their ankle bracelet, if they go outside that area,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to know,
Yeah.
right? They include they think, I guess this is more humane than the cages, so they're just slightly larger cages that allow you to breathe outside, which is better, I guess.
Well, and it'll also freeze up prison beds. You know?
But there's beds in these
So-
facilities,
Right.
so
Yep. Yeah, you can pay for your own jail cell. Pretty
New
much.
embrace of home confinement program appears to exemplify his muddled and contradictory approach. On the campaign trail, Biden promised to end for-profit detention centers, arguing no business should profit from the suffering of desperate people fleeing violence. Where's my ice cream?
Yep.
Right? He signed an
Hey,
executive.
Fat.
Come on, listen, Fat. This is really bad stuff. Okay? The fact that private companies are still benefiting from the program is an effect, not a cause, of the expansion of digital incarceration, Ruth Wilson Gilmore and others have noted. So, yeah, this is
Well, Axios is remaining clear. Control of the program expected to be subject to stricter oversight and requirement in standard ATD protocols.
They're expanding.
Migrants to stay in their home from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. enforced through electric monitoring.
What? The effing F? Are you kidding me?
It's pretty unbelievable. But again, I guess that's supposed better than keeping them in jail. Why? Because they can go and make themselves a sandwich. Is there food in their fridge? Can they go food shopping?
Well,
probably not.
I don't know how. When you bring someone to regular prison, you have to clothe, feed, entertain, like educate. There's a that
they do get to go
grillette.
grocery shopping, pick up kids from school.
Yeah,
but of course it reinforces the stigma.
But they have to pay for all that, right? They're having to pay for all that. They're paying for the food. They're paying for probably the housing. You have to keep the house, right? So you're probably having to go to work, and it's essentially prison where you can stay in the.
I don't even know where do they work because they're illegal migrants that have come over, or they've come over the border illegally. So I don't know what you want to. They're detained and
right, but are they paying for their home that they're being on house arrest for? Like
no, we're paying for that for sure. That's as a government.
Oh, okay, well, whatever. But I imagine that this will start like
these are like for-profit private prisons that the federal government is paying to house these people until they can put them on trial, which sometimes can be months, which of course violates habeas corpus on top of it because you have the right to a speedy trial. So,
well, it sounds like fucking internment-y.
This is the key.
In some respects.
Geo Group and its subsidiary was recently awarded a $2.2 billion federal contract in 2020 to launch the program, though the companies have said the actual contract was lower. Yeah, okay. Okay, so it's $1.9 billion. So what? Okay, the expanded program could be a boon to the company whose stock has fallen recently after booming during Trump's first year in office, when Trump ramped up all these border camps. Right?
Yeah.
And then he did remain in Mexico, and then they weren't building new camps, and then now Biden's trying to move the people from the detention centers that we had because they were like, kids can't be in cages anymore. So now they're going to be in these little like houses with ankle bracelets, I guess.
Yeah.
For how long? 71 people died in ICE facilities from 2011 to 2018. But Office of Detention Oversight only collected information on 55 of them. 34 occurred in for-profit facilities. So we still need to eliminate, of course, the for-profit prisons. Okay. Biden administration is trying to find a technocratic fix for a political problem. That's a bad sign. All right. And again, support Truth Out. This is a good piece. And I also wanted to shout out another Truth Out article, and this again goes to speaking to the monstrous domestic policies that we have that are continuing under Joe Biden. Investigation shows that police are still secretly surveilling Minnesota activists.
Minnesota.
And this is an exclusive by our published by Sharon Zhang, but this investigation from Technology Review, right, reveals that federal and local law enforcement agencies have been surveilling journalists and activists involved in the protests following the murder of George Floyd for over a year under a secretive program known as the Open Safety Net, despite claiming to have shut down the program in April.
The OSN. That's a lovely 3-letter acronym to learn.
Operation Safety Net. Officials announced it in February 2021, a month before the Derek Chauvin trial began. LEOs claimed that the goal of the program was to ensure the public was able to exercise its right to free speech, right? But instead, it's gathered a vast amount of information on activists, journalists, including pictures, documentation of the locations during protests, moves that are antithetical to the program's supposed goal of protecting free speech. Yeah, sure, that's what they want to do. Because the cops have been all about protecting free speech, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Their free speech.
Yeah, their right to speak freely about exactly what they want and to prevent
freedom they can
else's.
say to pick their ass. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Program involved 9 agencies in Minnesota, 120 officers. Jesus. 3,000 National Guard soldiers.
MIT Technology Review. Okay, so this is not like some fly-by-night rinky-dink operation. This is a tech review
using algorithms and
like the smartest of the smart. All right.
Well, this is, is NSA involved here? No,
but CBP
That's what
did.
it seems like.
CBP is.
Okay.
They also helped surveil protesters in the media, lending helicopters to Minneapolis. We knew that. Okay. At the time, police were detaining journalists and uploading info about their location, photos of their bodies and faces. We saw this where they would like take their cell phone and grab a picture of the journalist and ask them what their name was, or like a little video. We saw this stuff happening during the protest.
Yeah.
Program provides law enforcement with geolocations. All right, that's Intrepid Response. And I believe Intrepid Response might even be an NSO group thing. That's that spyware.
Yeah.
They reviewed thousands of documents, conducted hundreds of interviews. They were taken together. They reveal how advanced surveillance techniques and technologies employed by state, sometimes in an extra-legal fashion, have changed the nature of protests in the United States, effectively bringing an end to Americans' ability to exercise their First Amendment rights anonymously in public spaces. That's really, just surveillance cameras everywhere. Whether it's a Ring camera or a camera on an ATM or a camera where there are cameras everywhere. Everybody knows that. And everybody's phone's got a camera, and they can activate these things remotely, as we know, thanks to Ed Snowden.
Yeah.
Okay, officials claim the operation isn't ongoing and doesn't exist, but the reporters found presentations, emails, and intel that clearly referred to the operation as OSN 2.0. So this is inflammatory stuff. All right. While the findings of this investigation are chilling. What's that?
Yeah. I was just talking about thought crime.
It lines up with an anecdotal and data-driven evidence that police and government are averse to allowing left-wing protesters to demonstrate and exercise their First Amendment rights. Police are 3.5 times more likely to use force against left-wing protesters than against right-wing protesters. I think that all of our friends have experienced that have been out there protesting that is accurate, including Fiorella and Hinkle and Glory Jones and Nico.
I mean, I'll get way too close to danger.
And Ricky
out there.
Rance and everybody, yeah. So meanwhile, they've introduced and passed bills limiting protesters' rights in reaction to 2020 uprising, on top of the fact that many states are also passing laws that allowing cars to run over pedestrians in protest. Wow. I can't. So now, in response to this, AOC. Shout out to everyone working to explode funding for surveillance programs like these across the country under the guise of fund the police, when in fact police budgets are already at some of their highest levels in U.S. history across the country. No facts, just vibes. And she's not wrong, but
just vibes.
Thanks for the virtue signal. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Sharon Zhang, member of the All-Star team. I've reached out to her, told her, love her work, appreciate her so much. She's one of the best out there. Hey, Cap.
Yeah, that fucking helmet looks dumb. Yeah. Why do you need that red stripe right in the middle of your fucking eyeball? Seems dumb.
All right, nobody can
it's
see.
Like when you get that car that's got the like bar across the, you know, like that little bit of tint right in the wrong spot in the car, you know, like where you gotta look under it all the time.
I got two more stories real quick, and they're good news, and we can whip through them quick, and then we get to boats because I missed boats last week, and I need some mind bleach. So let's get to.
You need some avoidance.
Let's get to. Alrighty.
We talked about a bit of this, right?
Yay for workers. Last week, actually, I believe Noli and I covered a story about REI workers walking out on the job and holding out. And this week we got REI workers in New York City win a union. And this was in
I think we also talked a bit about it.
I think maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Socialist Alternative, that is the organization Shama Sawant is a member of, and she's actually mentioned here. Okay. And they are joining the RWDSU, which is the organization that, of course, the Amazon wholesale workers also want to join. They voted 88 to 14. Oh, God. 1488, of course, it had to be. That's terrible, but that's a terrible coincidence. But it's a landslide victory won by workers, despite a massive union-busting campaign by the company. And it'll give confidence to other workers fighting to unionize, including Starbucks baristas. And we're going to talk about them in a minute. Right, so REI workers are fighting for a living wage, reliable hours, greater control over scheduling, stronger COVID and other safety policies, and an expansion of healthcare to cover more employees sooner. Okay. Shama Sawant's office and Socialist Alternative look forward to fighting alongside them when they begin their struggle, and Soho, when they begin to struggle to win these demands during their first contract negotiation. We also stand with REI workers in Seattle and other cities who are undoubtedly inspired by the Soho unionization victory and want to build upon it. So looking at who is REI, they have $3 billion in annual revenue. And they force employees to work a full year without qualifying for health insurance. That's insane. That's insane. Even then, only to those who work 20 hours a week or more. And in one of the most expensive cities.
They aren't going to give you.
REI pays workers less than $19 an hour. So no health care and less than $19 an hour to live in a major city. That usually you require $30 an hour.
Ugh.
So yeah, none of this is new for the way the workers have been treated at REI. Again, 2016, they organized themselves as REI Workers for Real Change, and they fought for a union. And at the rally, they described the cutthroat corporate environment, homelessness, hunger, other precarious living situations not uncommon for employees of REI. Yeah, this is like high-end camping equipment for wealthy people, right? Isn't that what REI is?
Yes and no. Like, I mean, but yeah, like it's They actually have pretty good service about if you need stuff like that. You know, my mom's been environmental forever, and you need to be able to, like, if you're gonna be out in the field, you're gonna need stuff, like, and they tend to do a pretty good job of like, what do you actually need? All right, here's what you know, like they have some pretty knowledgeable people that work there, you know.
I mean, this is amazing. Their chief diversity officer began with a land acknowledgement to the Ohlone tribe before launching into an anti-union propaganda offensive. This is a perfect example of how woke capitalists and their political representatives will give lip service to progressive values and at the same time launch attacks on working people. Okay, again, talking about how workers at Starbucks also facing brutal anti-union campaign, and all over there's been anti-union campaigns because they cost companies money. And companies, there's been a struggle between unions and the workers and the owners for quite a while now. We stand in full solidarity with the workers because we are workers. Hey, how about that? Because we're not billionaires.
Yeah.
So we should stand with the workers because in the end, that benefits all of us.
As long as you're not Bernie, don't stand with those anymore.
No, because Bernie has definitely been the strike buster lately. So, like I said, we were talking about Starbucks union, another Starbucks union one outside of Buffalo. There is now a Starbucks union in Mesa, Arizona. So now it's starting to happen. You're starting to see some momentum happening. All right. Labor Notes covers Sarkar. I believe there's a Trump thing where they played him backwards and he's just Sarkar, and it's just funny. But anyway, so
for my family,
maybe Starbucks Workers United. All right, won its third store election in February 28 in Mesa, 25-3, with 3 additional contested ballots, despite heavy anti-union pressure from the company and in a state with only 5.4% union density. This is all good news. All right, all right. The Mesa store at Powerline and Baseline Roads became the first U.S. company-run store outside Buffalo to be unionized in the recent organizing wave. All right, now 3 for 4 in the elections held so far for Starbucks Workers United, and workers at more than 110 locations have filed or announced their intention to unionize as well. And even a Canadian Starbucks filed to unionize separately with the Steelworkers Union in January. So again, this is all great stuff. But in Mesa, the company's retaliation against a cancer-afflicted manager drove workers into the arms of SWU and Workers United, SEIU affiliated, the SEIU affiliate that's been supporting these union drives nationwide. I mean, 29-year-old manager had been diagnosed with leukemia. She requested paid leave, which she was denied. Asked for an assistant manager to help at the store, which was also denied. She wanted to be able to help make medical appointments, take care of herself as she coped with both the diagnosis and the illness. Starbucks made how much money last quarter? And I'm sure they're going to get into exactly what kind of earnings this company made, but again,
$1 billion.
Oh, it was more than $1 billion even. Company, here we go. $816 million from roughly October through January. That's 3 months worth, and expanded by 484 stores in the quarter.
I was pretty close at $1 billion.
It's
pretty close.
It's actually 2.4 billion or 3.2 billion.
2.4. What?
Quarterly.
How does math work?
That's quarterly. That's
I was talking about quarterly.
Right. Okay, but listen to this. She called in at 3 in the morning. She was too sick to work. DM didn't pick up her phone. Store was already short-staffed. And they ended up firing her, citing an open investigation. Unreal.
Ugh.
What the fuck?
So all of this inspired the other employees to get together and unionize. As I said, if that can be done to her, that can be done to all of us. Okay. By November 16th, just 4 days after Harrison had collapsed, the workers had enough cards to file for a union authorization election. They raised $30,000 through crowdfunding to support her, the uninsured and cancer-stricken whistleblower, in a striking display of reciprocal solidarity. Say that 5 times fast.
Okay, what was it?
Reciprocal solidarity.
Reciprocal solidarity. Yep. That's reciprocal solidarity.
Okay, we know about the Memphis store. That's in Martin Luther King. You know, where Martin Luther King was shot. They fired 7 unionizing workers, and we know about some of the stuff that they've done to try to break these unions. But people who sit behind a computer do not know how to make a latte. They don't know how to clean a toilet, and we need to have a say, 100%. So this is great. Also, look at this. Anti-Semitism on top of everything.
Oh, fun.
Right? Because she had a swastika painted on her house and the mezuzah torn off her front door.
Oh, not the mezuzah.
Dude, I've got one in every doorway. And
that's fucked up.
That leads my house into my kids' doorways, to the bedrooms. District manager suggested that she try to understand where the person who did it was coming from. Hate speech.
What's the mezuzah again? It's like a little candle thing.
No, it's a little Torah that's screwed to the side of the doorpost.
That makes sense.
I mean, I'm Christian. Even I find it off-putting to have her reading a Christian story at the holiday meeting, which is weird. Stalling intimidation tactics, as we are used to, right?
Yeah.
Where she was diagnosed with cancer, Starbucks wouldn't add a single assistant manager to help the workers in Mesa. Now it added 3, and that was the one in Alabama, where they. That's in Mesa. Oh, look at that. The company, and this is something that we reported on a couple weeks ago. They start flooding the store with management. Why?
Yeah.
They put too many managers and not enough workers. Yeah, we call them babysitters. We're not allowed to be there without them. Right? They're held into captive group meetings, and they're being told that they want them to vote no, and it's really weird.
They're not allowed to do, right? That's illegal,
it's totally
yes?
strike. Yeah, it's union busting. 100%. It's violation of NLRB practices and national law, worker law. So again, the day the Mesa workers filed their cards with the NLRB, they met over Zoom with Carl Cochran, who told them what union busting tactics to expect. Starbucks uses the same playbook everywhere, and we know the ins and outs of it. It's really fulfilling to be able to help other stores. So what are they doing, right? Night workers may never talk to day workers before that. Now they're all in the same group chat. They're all going out for food and attending parties together. Discord, Telegram, Twitter, incredibly effective.
Yep.
Again, next up, Seattle and Boston. So, some good news. And here, check out, tinyurl.com/Starbucks Solidarity, and you can hook up with the workers. And let me drop this into chat. It's a Google Doc that shows how you can help out the workers. So that is everything I had for this week, and it still ended up taking an hour and a half, even though it was only 8.
Yep. It should be a better 8. Yeah.
We got more. We got more into them at least. So I think I want to hear Jimmy, and so we'll go to Jimmy Say.
I watch YouTube boats that smash into other boats.
Boats time.
We will get into a new boats theme next week that Warren, God bless his soul, did. But he didn't get it to me over in time. He sent me the link just now, but I didn't have time to queue it up. Maybe I'll do it afterwards. We can premiere it for everybody, but go for it.
It's boat time, you say, right?
It is time for some boats.
I think usually by the time I get to boats, I look about this high.
Wow.
About that high.
What is that, gummies? What is that?
No, so that's going to be like dabs, THC crystals, some keef.
Jeez.
Right?
That's a happy face.
Yeah. Yes, it is. You want to see it get melted?
Oh.
Oh my God.
Oh my word. How many people did that get high?
I had one. I hope me. I want.
Dude.
Look, the oil's not even like.
Dude, you would be under the table. Look at that. It's like hit another thing. Free. Wow.
Ooh, it looks weird coming back.
Yes, it does.
But I just thought we'd get started with that. That felt like a good start. So when you have guests over, you got to get the good china out.
Ah, Delft.
You know,
that is Delft from Amsterdam, actually, and I have been to like Delft museums, and that is their like famous national product.
Nice. I'll take one. Looks good to me.
Mm-hmm.
So when you open this Snapple, you're gonna have a good day. You know, life is too short to smoke mids, and I feel like that's the advice Snapple needs to give us
right now. Yeah, I think that it definitely is.
It was at this moment little Sarah realized why Daddy's brownies are off limits. Oh my god! Oh my god, the brownies!
Look at the hair. Oh my god, the hair.
All the hair. It's all like bowl cuts. It's the worst. So me, I'm just gonna get high and do some laundry. 2 hours later. Weren't you supposed to do laundry? Me.
Yeah.
Fucking laundry?
Yeah. What you talking
what
about?
The fuck?
Dude, I remember that. Wait, you know what that's from? I believe that is from Different Strokes, and that is Arnold's friend Dudley.
Is it?
I believe that is Arnold's friend Dudley.
Did he find?
Or it could be Kenny from The Cosby Show.
Did he find Grady's wild parsley? Is that what happened? Did he find Grady's wild parsley?
Oh my god, that was so funny from Sanford and Son.
Yeah, this guy got into the wild parsley. Look at the doggo.
Look at the Dabo. Look at all the freaking cartridges hanging around him. Yep. Nice.
This guy poses for a picture well.
Nice.
This doggo also poses for pictures well. Look at the doggo. Oh my god. Ruh-roh. Like rungs. Fucking baked potato. It's just a baked potato. That's all it is. It's nothing, I swear. It's just a baked potato, officer. Fucking
shout out to Jesse Jett, who loves to smoke through an apple.
Fucking apple pipe. I gotta get him a glass apple pipe. When's his birthday? I gotta pick him up one of those.
Every day's his birthday.
So world's largest bong? Can we make a trip?
Oh my god!
Can we make
it's the Liberty Bong.
Can we make a trip? It's the Liberty Bong. Look at the cars. I want to go. And if this isn't a real bong, we need to make the world's largest bong and smoke out of it. That needs to be what we do. So do you like bananas? You don't like bananas, right? You're one of the few people that don't like.
I'm not a banana fan. No.
Oh,
I'm not a fan of banana.
So banana. The fuck is that?
That's a mongoloid banana. No offense to Mongols. Wow. That's actually a thick and juicy banana.
It's a big banana, right?
My kids would like that. That's like a double. It's actually like a double. Like two of them kind of merged, smushed to. Yeah. That kind of looks like two bananas.
Yeah, it's two bananas. Like, yep. I'll take that shit. Make some bananas Fosters out of that. How many bananas you use for Fosters? Just one. Like, so, I just wanted to shout out all the homies out in the yard right? Because they got a cookout here too, man. Look at this shit.
Yeah. We doing what we doing and we having what we having. Having what we having. You see what I'm saying? We having what we having. Put you down, clown. It's not been on. It just look like.
Like, look, they made a fucking grill, dude.
Is that a pig?
They made a fucking grill.
Is that
no, that's like. No, it's just like rice and shit, I think.
You see what I'm saying? We having what we having. Put you down, clown. It's not been.
Like rice and beans and shit, but like they made a fucking whole like plancha.
A stadium?
No, they're in prison.
They're
right. This is like the stairs of a prison.
Oh, sure.
So like they're like homeboys up top.
They literally like lit fire underneath the step.
Stairs.
Oh, crap, that's their grill.
This is like the yard, right? Like, you know. It's just like out there. You know, they gotta like cover up the fucking what they're doing and shit. Dude, prison cooking is crazy. Like, they do some wild shit in there, you know? But I always love seeing those kind of prison videos. They're great. You know? Like, oh, this one reminded me of myself. You know? Yep, volume's all the way up. The laugh at the end.
Dude, that did sound just like you with the beard and everything. Was that you?
Yep. No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Dude, the face can't even be you. Is that?
Fucking.
Does he have like a picture of you on his shirt?
Probably a picture of himself. You know,
one of those dudes.
That seems like a baller move. So can you explain to me what's happening?
Oh, he's high.
He's high, huh?
I mean, so high, yeah. He's mowing the fucking roof.
Why is he mowing the roof?
Well,
why is that happening?
He's got to make sure there's no grass on there.
That's fucking funny.
The Rolling Stone gathers no moss, right?
The Rolling Stone gathers no moss. He's gonna be out here and be like, "Babe, did you mow the grass?" I think.
I mowed something.
Why is there like new tiles in the grass? Like he fucking did it opposite. He was supposed to like fix the roof. It's got like one of those like little vents, the little heat vents in the grass now. You know? So this one's fucking hilarious. All right. My little boy just pooped through his diaper, through his onesie, through my shirt, and through my jeans. This is the first time anyone has ever shit my pants.
Nice.
My pants.
Welcome to Parenthood, Dad Zone.
Oh, fucking Dad Zone. This one's fucking good.
Did you color your sister? Tell me the truth. Weslin?
Weslin. No, I didn't do shit.
No, the look just says I'm not guilty.
Yep. I am not guilty. Oh. What else I got? So this Fat Tuesday was last Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Tell me something, mister.
Oh, poor kid.
Oh, poor kid. He got him right in the face. I mean, his hands were there. He should have caught that shit. You know?
Tell me about your
Here we go.
chocolate on your face. Can you tell me about your chocolate on your face? What happened?
I got ramen noodles on my face and I washed it.
Did you wash it with chocolate?
Yep.
Yep.
Genius.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep.
Brilliant.
That kid's gonna go far in life.
Brilliant.
That kid's gonna fucking far. Oh, high IQ.
Genius.
High IQ. All right, you ready? This is that one. Have you taken your kids to a trampoline park yet?
Last week.
Okay.
We were at one last week for a birthday party.
Oh, this is gonna be real good for you then.
2, 1.
Oh, he just did a full flip. Yeah, he did.
Oh god. You want to see it again?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
2, 1.
Oh my god. The mom. Oh my god.
Oh my god. It's like everyone's like, he's gonna pop up and be like, "Oh my god, do it again!" Like,
Oh yeah.
you know what's gonna happen.
Oh my god.
Like, this one's great. I fucking love this one.
Can I do something real quick?
No, can't do nothing, kid.
Whoa.
Told you not to do that. You done knocked the fucking wind out yourself. Silly shit. What's wrong?
The best. Can I do something real quick? And she's like, no. Like,
Can I do something real quick?
no.
What?
I told you not to do that.
I told you not to do that. I told you not to do that. Oh. You done knocked the wind out yourself. Sometimes kids are crazy, is what this one says.
What is this, dude? Bro. Then you got the dog involved. What is going on over here?
Flower.
Get that dog down. Italy. What made you do this? Didn't I take this from you earlier?
The fuck is it?
Wow.
It's baby powder. Oh my god.
Here.
He blew it in her head. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, is that good?
This one's pretty good as well. So this is like one of these mirror mazes, I think, but they put like one-way mirrors.
Oh
I think it's also the same scene in John Wick in the last movie.
Oh. Oh. Boink. Boink. Donk.
Oh.
See you later, Colin.
Oh.
Doink. Oh. Oh!
Oh!
Boom! Dude, somebody's evil. God. Whoever made that is just evil. That is
the fact that someone
wrong.
knew to be like filming all the time, like, you know.
Wow.
So.
Okay.
Do you notice?
Thing? This is a horse thing or a dog thing?
Pay attention to the background. It's a horse thing, right?
Okay.
But we got the news anchor here. Fucking kid, we got to get out of here. We're in the shop. God.
He goes limp.
Oh, God. Nice. Fucking kid, get the fuck out.
I did that to my kid today.
The patented kid drag. Just, yep.
Over my legs.
Yep. That's great. And just not even a care. And the news anchor just not like caring at all. Oh. I gotta make that one bigger for people, I think. And kid's gonna throw the cat in. And whoop.
Kid's not going anywhere. Kid is. Uh-oh. I hope you can swim.
Yep.
Oh, your mommy's nearby.
Yeah, it'll be fine. But the cat's definitely not going in that water.
Ooh.
But
ironically, this post won't be allowed there. That's pretty funny.
Which way do I go? This way. There we go. Our instant karma.
Instant karma's gonna get you.
I mean, don't you wish your kid had a handle on it? Going. Where you going, kid? You ain't going nowhere. Tail grab, like that's why monkeys have tails. It's so their parents can have a handle.
I like that
You
idea.
know?
Missing from mine.
Yep. that is a bug, not a feature.
That would come in handy.
Why did it start everything in the wrong spot? And get out of here, you fucking slug!
Wow.
Fucking, he's out of there. He's like, oh fuck this, I'm out. Oh, you wanna play? You seem cool, you wanna play? Fuck it out of here! I'm fucking. Oh my god! Fucking.
He's also on
the
a
little
leash.
fucking scurry down. The little scurry down the stairs is fucking hilarious.
He's also leashed.
Oh
up.
shit! Look, I'm sorry. Yep. Oh. So, have you seen the goat ski?
I think you showed me
The
this.
greatest of all time. Oh, I think this is new. Yeah, gone.
Wow.
Just gone. Down the fucking mountain it goes.
What's a mountain goat?
Like, that is a mountain goat. Like, dude, that's like downhill, like slalom. How fast you think he's going? Like,
Not slow. We are not low.
no, just ridiculous.
He was not low.
What else we got?
Oh my
Just some
god.
Florida shit.
Wait,
Just some Florida shit. Hanging out. You know?
Florida man eaten by alligator.
Yeah, pretty much. I just find it funny that he's just on the fence, just chilling.
Ride the
You know,
fence.
he's like, oh, I like
Check
it
that
here.
out, Christian.
Yep.
Dude, you gotta send that to Christian. That should be the next
Can
cover
do.
of his thing for Ride the Fence.
Ride the fence. Little gator. Why does it start in the middle? God. And play. Man, I'm so happy I got this new fence. It's real pretty, wrought iron, real heavy.
Ooh, pretty.
You know, slide it all the way out. But you know, they need to be attached at the top.
No, that's not bueno.
No, and that's going to be
I'm not happy. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to lift.
Yeah.
And you know somebody's gonna drive right over that shit.
Oh, yeah, they are. I didn't even think about that. But, oh. Here we go.
She was a good egg making me my bed, isn't she?
Oh, the couch bed is never a good thing. Oh no!
Oh, that's fucking cartoon bullshit there.
You have been folded up into a bed.
Kelly M talking about this shit gets funnier the higher I get. Yep, that's, I think, us as well. Oh, this one's fucking good.
I began to pass out. Then my head hit the wall. Boom!
Oh! I think she went the wrong direction.
Yes.
What do you think?
She's not gonna make it on the football team.
I think she went the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a right or wrong way? I think it's just you had to be stronger than the fucking springs.
No, you
know?
She bounced right off that. Are you kidding?
Maybe it's like locked up or something. So I know you're not on camera much.
No.
But you know, what if your webcam was doing this shit?
On fire.
Just on fire.
Literally.
I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done.
I'm fucking
Noli?
done.
It sounded like that sounded like Noli.
No, I think it's just a high stoner kid.
I'm fucking done.
I'm fucking done.
Oh my god.
I feel you.
That's wow.
Technology.
Time for a new webcam.
Time for a new webcam. This one's fucking funny, dude. Oh. So you're trying to flex, show off your muscles, right?
Oh my god, I almost passed out.
What the fuck happened?
Oh my god. Wait.
Oh my god, I almost passed out. Oh, I'm passing out. Like,
wait, what?
Oh my god, I almost passed out.
Was he like holding his breath for like 30 seconds?
yeah, he was like, no, he was just like trying to flex. Show off his fucking, he's been at the gym. He lifts.
Damn, that's bad.
And he just made himself pass out. This one's a long one, but a good one. So,
who do you think runs the world? Girls!
No.
Not even. Since the 1970s, 2 corporations have gobbled up most of the Earth's companies. Vanguard and BlackRock. And you might be like, Tony, that's ridiculous. I go to stores all the time and I see competing brands everywhere. The market has genuine competition because I can buy this or that or this or that. But all publicly traded companies have boards where the largest shareholders make the decisions. So when we investigate who are the largest shareholders of all these companies,
okay, for those listening on the podcast, she is doing a really interesting dance. You might want to check the video on this.
Interpretive dance?
So we have a monopoly inside of a monopoly. Vanguard and BlackRock own Coke and they own Pepsi. They own Apple and they own Android, i.e. Microsoft. They own American Airlines.
Android's Google.
They own solar. They own eBay and they own Amazon and they own the car companies and the pharmaceutical companies and the tobacco companies, the food companies, the clothing companies, the companies, the banks, 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 the banks. No matter what industry.
Oh, we gotta clip that for Courtney.
Making the decisions. Call me a dingleberry, but if you own all the competing companies in the free market, then I don't think the market is all that free. But who are they? The CEO and founder of BlackRock is Larry Fink. But then BlackRock has a board. The largest shareholder is Vanguard. And who's in Vanguard, you might wonder? Nobody knows! Yeah, I guess it's just private information. Probably the rich families on the planet, like the DuPonts, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Bushes. Bush. And P.S., if the division of companies is, then what does that say about the division of nations? Rich people don't need passports when they travel on their private jets. Borders are meaningless to the elite except as a tool of nationalism to pit us against each other. And we all know corporate dollars go into politics, and if all those corporations are owned by the same people, that means both political parties are definitely owned by the same people. So how do we stop it? Well, I actually have the answer. All we gotta do is...
That's the payoff. All we gotta do is... Nice.
I just thought, it was interpretive dance. It was informative. You got to have some culture along with your dumbness. Oh!
Is that a TikTok dance? Why? Is that what they would consider a TikTok dance, or is that a K-pop? Oh! Or is that a K-pop dance?
I think it was interpretive.
Ow.
What happened?
Ow. He hit his head on the
cord. There's like a fucking cable running across there.
Oh, there sure is. He got hung.
Top of his dome.
Ow.
Yeah. Look,
okay.
Check your surroundings, people.
Thank you.
We got another one. We got another skateboardums. Oh. And still fuck. And stuff like that. Almost made it down the stairs. Almost. So, and fucking didn't make it. What? It's funny because it's boats.
Oh! And it's a dude smashing into a boat. That's close enough than boats smashing into boats.
Yeah. That's a rare occurrence I'm finding.
Yes.
You know? Whee!
Dude smashing through trampolines! Oh, God.
Yeah. And a flat, just to flat. Like,
and his
this is never a good
idea. Because he was definitely supposed to go in the pool.
Yeah. Like, this is never a good idea to try to jump off a roof onto a trampoline.
I did not see him moving there at the end.
No, he's good.
He's okay.
He's fine.
Okay. All right. Enough.
He's good.
I've seen that enough times.
Yep.
That hurts.
Yep. Yep. Here we go. Full screen. Motorcycles are cool. I love my... Oh, shit. My motorcycle fell here. Maybe if I just use a little gas to help pick it up and... Oh, shit. Fucking...
Uh-oh. Maybe you can
Oh, he's good. Maybe you can help me. Oh, God. Why?
Oh. I got hit by a motorcycle today. Not like you think, but...
Yep. But you do get a cool story to say, you know?
Yes.
So, you know, I just want you to imagine what the robots can do when they're not friendly.
Oh, come on. Oh, Jesus Christ.
They got him out here fucking playing catch and shit.
Come on, they're playing like header with soccer. That's ridiculous.
That's crazy, right?
That's ridiculous. And frightening.
That's insane. Standing whiskey throttle.
I'm never leaving the house again. That's it.
Never leaving the house. Yeah, I feel you. Technology. So.
Oh, okay.
We got a ledge.
Why is there a platform
One single
there?
ledge.
What the?
He makes it.
Nice.
Come here, man.
Yep. Pretty rad, right?
No!
Let's see Steve do it.
Oh, that's not good for the car.
No.
Oh, that's not good for our car.
Oh my God.
Mazda 3.
Oh, no fucking nobody in the car.
Mazda 2.5.
Woo! Zared, come here, man. Whoa!
I didn't mean on the car. Derek, when I said come here, I didn't mean drive.
Oh, God. What the fuck?
Jesus.
How did that get caught on fucking camera? Oh.
Uh-oh.
Fucking great. No. Bowling's fun, right? Whee! Fucked it all up.
Wait.
Fucked it all up.
Wait. What? That's the best throw I've ever seen.
Oh.
That is...
Bing, bong, boop, boop, bop.
How the... Come on. How did it roll right back to her? What kind of spin? What kind of voodoo spin did she put on that thing? Damn. That's a hook.
That's a fucking hook. Definitely.
Holy shit. Oh boy.
Here we go.
Oh. Door bands are always a bad idea. Oh no.
Door bands.
Is he gonna pull the whole door off? Or is it gonna snap? It was either gonna snap or it was gonna pull the door down. That's gonna leave a mark.
That was right on the fucking nose.
That's gonna leave a mark.
Oh, the sound. Oh. It like landed flat on the nose. Like you could hear that shit. Oh. Oh shit!
More.
Yeah, we got a few more. We got a few more skateboarders.
They're gonna take each other out. Whoa! The crowd goes wild.
Oh, saved himself from like pretty nasty cheese grater. Like,
did he?
Like, so
What,
this is downhill.
Chest up? Yeah.
Well, they have little. He should have a little nylon like plastic or metal sometimes. It's like on the glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that they can like actually like scoop like it was a wave, right? And so he's pushing himself up, so his skin is not directly on pavement. You know,
that's smart.
Yeah,
I still think that his knees are probably hitting pavement.
A little bit, yeah, but hopefully the shorts are protecting it. Hopefully he's got a, above the knee jort. Below the knee jort. All right. This shit. People are dumb.
What the?
Oh!
What
like
the F?
What was it? Why?
I don't even know what did I just miss? Like in slow-mo. I still didn't see it exactly. I just saw it pop and he went upside down.
We'll give a little frame by frame. So there's the explosion there, right? Which drives his shoulders down and then just flips him over himself. Like,
okay.
Knocked his ass off balance. So I have a few of these guys today because I just love when they fuck up the humans. That's the best part. And
Gore!
Oh, he's okay. He's okay. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. He's not gonna get hit again.
No!
Why? Oh, dude, get hit square like that too is just.
Oof. And yeah, looking the other direction both times.
Yep, both times. So this is, remember when I was talking about that Tetris theme song?
Yep.
Oh.
That is human Tetris. What in the French hell is that? Why?
Oh,
why? You figure he's gonna go in the thing, right? Oh my god.
That's great.
Wow.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Oh no. More hardcore parkour off the fridge.
Yep, we got a quality squat though here, you know?
And he's wearing Crocs.
I'm okay. I'm all right.
I think you better get some ice out of that freezer, bro.
Yep. Spider-Man. Oh, I'm not Spider-Man.
Oh. You lost the Lucky Charms too.
Oh, I'm not the Lucky Charms.
Misha, welcome. Oh, we got a
coming
few
after
more.
you.
This has been fun. Oh boy, another rodeo. Here we go.
I like the music here. I think it's just enough that we won't get fucking CP'd, you know?
We'll see.
Oh my god. Here we go.
Oh!
Don't stay there!
It's like the fucking bull new.
I'm going upside down now.
Oh, this one's pretty great. Real cinematic. This one. Why did it? Okay. whatever. That was a nice horsey. Oh my God, a horse hit me. And then we get the drone shot that he was actually taking. Yep, there he goes. This shot, right?
Oh, was he wearing VR goggles? Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
no
the drone
idea
has
thing was coming.
Well, it's like the drone has the little goggles to help fly it. You'll have like a camera to film and then a camera to actually fly with.
Oh my God.
Right?
That's so great.
And
he just lost sight of where he was, and it's like, dude, there's a horse there. But
like, the fucking horse ran right. Horse has this whole field. That horse is an asshole.
He just,
he
just sideswiped him.
He just fucking sideswiped him. Fucking clipping. So we had some motorcycle fun earlier. I figured we'd have some real motorcycle fun. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're gonna race? All right.
No. Oh, that's not good for my bike. Oh, I'm gonna be late. Oh, fuck.
The fucking run. Did you see the run?
Yep.
The run.
Wow.
The run is crazy.
Dude, well, what would you do if you're hit pavement? You'd start running too.
Tuck and roll. Tuck and roll. For sure. Oh. All right, so I figured I'd end with a bang. You ready?
Cool. Enjoying the nice spring weather. Okay, there's something on fire out there.
Oh shit.
Dude.
Oh God.
That's a bad time.
That is a real bad time.
You're gonna have a bad time.
When you pizza, when you should French fry.
You definitely French fried when you should have pizzaed. And you're gonna have a bad time.
Oh, so that's all I have for boats, right on time.
Nice. We're running at 2 hours. It's perfect. 2:06.
Yep.
There will be no show next week. I'll be on a business trip, so I will not be able to be at the show and be here at 10 o'clock. I think I'm going to be sitting in an airport. So taking the red eye home. There will be the week after. I'm working still on who the next guest will be for Friends of Indie Left. There are several candidates and a bunch of people who have stepped up and said they are willing to be interviewed and to have a conversation with me, which is great. And I appreciate that. Now we just have to figure out who's going to be next. So long but distinguished list of people that are good friends of the show that we definitely want to give a voice to and hear their story and learn a little bit more about what makes them tick and why they are streaming and stuff about them that we didn't already know and all kinds of fun stuff. So that's Friends of Indie Left. Of course, check out Reefer After Dark every Friday night. I will not be on this Friday night because I will, of course, will still be on the trip. But who you got this week? Do we know?
Not yet. You know, I figured I'd throw some darts at a wall and see who comes up. You know,
good stuff. Good stuff.
I should do that. I got my axe throwing set up outside. I should put some pictures up and see which one I land on. You know,
badass. So in the meantime, again, I would say please to check out independentleft.news, leftist.today. You can get all the links at independentleft.media. That's our link tree. Go to IndieNews.Network to get all the Indie News Network channels and subscribe to the Substacks, IndieNewsNetwork.substack.com. ReeferAfterDark.substack.com. Actually, Reef has a Substack, so subscribe to that. linktr.ee. linktr.ee/Reef Breland. Drop some weed money.
Yep.
And
at Reef Breland on Twitter. If you don't find me on there. You know.
So we'll be back on the 21st after St. Patty's Day is over. So I wish you all a good couple of weeks and have a great time and be good to each other. And hopefully we'll still all be here in a couple of weeks to do that.
Yep. Good night, everybody. Keep listening to what little birdies have to tell you.